Hi everybody, it's Marcy, and I'm working on my Just Junk Journal Challenge some more today. Over the weekend, I got some more stuff done. I think the last things I'd shown you were my fabric flip and my fabric pocket. My sewing machine and I argued as I was stitching around my fabric flip. It was telling me it desperately needed to be cleaned and oiled, so I've now taken care of that. And then I'd also done my flip-flop page. So over the weekend, I went ahead and made my belly band. I've not made any of the inserts that go in any of these things. I made my dad's bank envelope, where I used some magazine page, a little bit of wallpaper, a little bit of magazine page here, a flower from my linen, and then I did a little more coffee painting on the flaps. I just left the back as the book page. I used a book page as my base. Here I made a matchbook tag. And again, it's made out of, the base was book page, and I actually cut 2 strips, I believe they're 3.5 inches wide, and glued them end to end. You might be able to see right there where I have the 2 glued together. That way it would be tall enough to flip over and make about a 7-inch tag. And I kept the bottom a little longer, so I'd have the little matchbook style closure there. And I used some magazine page. I used a flower out of another book, a little bit of calendar or planner from last year's, one of the Happy Planner pages, and expression, and I just outlined it with my gel pen, stitched around the edges, stitched the bottom there, used staples there. On the other side, I just used a little extra strip of magazine page, put another flower on the back. On the inside, these are the planner pages that I had tea/coffee using a mixture dyed to give a couple of note pages. There's more of the book page. And I just used some of my shirt fabric for the tag topper on that. But I was pretty pleased with the way that came out. And then I also did my waterfall page. And here I used some of the brown paper bag that I have been using. Lined the back side with some book page where my thumb hole is. I did lots of coffee painting on these. And then some magazine page and stitched around them all. So each of my waterfall pages has a place to put the inserts, and on the back side I again used some of the Happy Planner page just to give a little bit of writing space. So all this decoration is done with the coffee painting. Here's the next page. I just dotted on this one, but done exactly the same way. Again with some writing space. And then on this one, still using the paper sack, I used, actually, it was the, I don't remember which end it was, but one of the ends off of my Tombow glue just to make shapes using the coffee on the background of this one. And again, magazine page, sewed around it, and got that stitched in. So like I say, for all of my items, I still need to make the inserts. But I want to get the base items made. I've not even, I have a couple of pages, but I've not even picked all the pages for my journal yet. I'm just trying to get the base items made, and then I will go back and do all the inserts. I'm having so much fun playing that I just want to be able to play with the inserts. Okay, here I've got, today I'm going to work on my top tuck, and I've got this, which is left over the white paper sack that I had tea dyed, and I think I'm going to try to use part of that. I use this on my cover, and this is just one of the cutoffs. So I think what I want to do is first I want to double it up. I want my tuck to have a little more substance. Okay. And I really haven't fully decided how I'm going to do this. Okay, I think this book page I initially cut down to 8.5 by 11, but I think I'm going to snip just a little bit more off of it because I know I'm going to end up with some creep, and I tend to prefer to trim up my creep as much as I can. So since this will be taking up most of the width, I want to be sure that it will fit in the journal without me having to take much more off the outside edge. Okay, so, and I literally am just trying to, even inside for my journal, I told you this is going to be a very eclectic journal, and I've got all sorts of random book pages laying around, so I'm trying to use some of those up. Okay, and yes, this is me stalling while I'm thinking. So, I want, it's going to be a double tuck. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave actually 2 separate tuck spaces, which might be kind of fun if I do that. How am I going to want? I don't want anything to get caught on those edges. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to my sewing machine real quick, and I'm just going to stitch a line down this edge where I've glued it down, but it doesn't precisely meet up. That way I don't have to worry about then if I do end up leaving it as 2 and trying to back up. I know I will need 2 inserts, but I could put 2 inserts under 1 tuck. But it might be kind of neat to actually have 2 tuck spaces which would also give my paper bag even more overall girth. So I'm going to do that, and I will come right back. Okay, so I sewed a strip all across the bottom, then folded it back over, and I stitched it across the top, so at the top it is closed off. Now what I'm gonna do is, and truly on this one, this is me not really knowing what I'm gonna do, but just kind of going with it as I, okay, I'm gonna take, just going with it as it comes. Okay, so I've got roughly 1.5 inches. So I've got this magazine page that I'd already started cutting from. So what I'm going to do is cut a little strip out of it. Don't really care what the image is. I'm just looking for a little bit of texture to put onto my paper bag. So, oh, my computer's trying to do something. Anyway, okay. So let's just glue that on there. I think I've said this before, so I apologize. I am really having a lot of fun with this journal. And I think it's just because well, I don't really know why this one as opposed to, they're all fun, but this one I'm just having a tremendous amount of fun with. I think because there are some things that we have to include in our journal, but there aren't so many things that we have to include that it really gives no time to just play. Okay, here I had 2 happy planners last year. One, which this is the classic size, and it was an 18-month, so I'm still using that happy planner, but I was able to pull all the pages out that were for whatever it was, July through December of last year. So I'm going to cut, I don't think I want to attempt to use the entire heart, but I do want the home is where the heart is. So I'm going to cut that. I may have to do some trimming on this to get it the way I want it. Okay, so we're going to cut that one about there. And then I think what I want to try to do, okay, we'll go ahead and take that right there. But then on the bottom, I'm going to make it sort of banner-like in that I'm, well, except opposite, a pointy banner instead of a dovetail banner. Cut it like that. think I'll round that just a hair shade. Okay. Let's glue this on. I'm also thinking, guys, I'm seriously considering taking part this year in the 100-day project. And as it would be on a somewhat limited basis, but what I thought I might do, thought might be kind of fun for me to do, is I've got a gazillion Trivial Pursuit cards. And while Trivial Pursuit cards are great to use in journals, when you've got about a bazillion of them, it would take a really, really, really long time to use them all up. And I love using them to make just little ephemera pieces, be it small little journal cards or little, like little concertina folders, stuff like that. They could even be prepped and primed to be painted on. So I'm thinking about doing the 100-day project using my Trivial Pursuit cards and just seeing, you know, a lot of them would probably just be simple journal cards, stuff like that. But I thought it would be fun to maybe do that. And they're small enough that it would be like a little, just a little, almost like doing a little ATC card every day for 100 days. Oh, that's exactly what it would be like. Okay. Although some of it might entail making little notebooks or something, but still. Okay. So then if I put it down, if I leave this end open, and that is at the, this is where the signature will be tied in. And we slide something under there. I think that'll work if I just glue it along this edge and the top edge. Then whatever is in it would not slide out the open end of the journal. It could slide this way a little bit, but not by much, because that's where the signature will be. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll use my Fabri-Tac on this, just... Okay, so there, oop, stop moving it. We've got a really simple little top tuck, but I kind of like that, and I actually made it a double top tuck. It's got 2 openings, so you can go all the way underneath. And you've got another opening just above that. And I used some of that white paper sack that I had left over, a little bit of magazine page, part of a calendar page, and one of my linen flowers from my linen tablecloth, and I sewed around it. So really simple, but I think I kind of like the way that looks. Might have preferred a different color flower, but the ones I'm using, the peachy pinky kind of color, they're all bigger. So I think that will work for my top tuck. So sorry that was, well, we'll see when I edit it down, maybe kind of a long video for such a simple thing, but I think that will work. And now I've got another page to go in my journal. All right, everyone, until next time, please be safe, stay healthy, happy crafting, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.